Welcome everybody to Brim After Dark.
I still think that Anna should be saying that.
Yeah, every time we do it, and then we, Hey, by the way, I'm Ed of the Data Chronicles, just so you guys know. And
I'm Paul Caputo with Baseball by Design, broadcasting live as always from the Helmet Sunday Hall of Fame in Fort Collins, Colorado, in my basement in Fort Collins, Colorado.
And Anna DiTomaso of the Baseball Bucket List podcast from should we call this Bucket List HQ? I feel like that's pretty
I like that.
Oh, I like that. Yeah. Bucket List HQ. All right. I love it.
Yeah. Whenever I mention you, Anna, because we're talking about we talk about things. And
we talk about things.
Whenever I mention you, I'll be talking with Ranger Amy, wildlife consultant Ranger Amy. And here I was trying to make sure. Okay, there you go. I wanted to make sure we got the right overlay here. And I'll mention something about Anna, like maybe, hey, we're going to go to Alaska with Anna, and then Amy will go, "What's up, Bucketheads?" Like that. What's up, Bucketheads?
I love it.
Yes, it's catching on. I love it.
What's up, Bucketheads? I like that a lot.
Patrick Larson, the bad boy of Curve Brim, approved.
Right, I got to vote for Bucket List HQ. I like it.
One upvote.
Warm welcome back, by the way.
What's up, hey?
Oh,
John.
I know. I saw
up,
that in your Monday video too.
Yeah. I got to help out fellow content creators out there. I'm super pumped about this. Super warm, very comfortable, by the way. Yeah. I'm very happy. The socks are awesome.
The socks? Did you say there's socks?
Yeah, there's socks.
Wow.
There's caught looking socks, man. You guys got to check it out. Yeah.
Caught looking. All right.
Yeah. And let me tell you, I've been using this hoodie because temperature dropped to like very cold temperatures here in the 40s. I know, right?
40s,
it's crazy.
All right. Well, 40s, 40s are kind of no joke.
I'm in Ohio. I'm not in Ohio anymore, and this is not cold. Shorts and a hoodie is perfect weather.
Perfect. Yeah, because it was in that we haven't been to the 20s yet, but I run early in the morning a couple times a week with my buddy Chris, and it's been in the 30s. It's been like 32, 33 the last few weeks.
So let me ask you, do you run in that cold weather?
Yeah.
Okay, because I do too. I have cold gear.
Yeah.
I have cold gear and everything.
I had to throw away a pair of running tights. They met their untimely demise, or maybe it was a timely demise. I don't know, but
you use them up. I got the tights. I got the shirt. I got gloves. Yeah. I even have a winter head, like covers everything. I even headlamp. I go all out.
That's good.
I love running in the cold, which is kind of weird, but whatever.
It's much better than the hot. I can't run in the heat.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Darla loves running in the afternoon in the heat. I am a morning person, and I love it in the cold weather. I don't know what it is.
Ranger Amy will run in she's like, oh, it's 95 degrees out at 8 a.m. I better run before it gets to 100. I'm just like, I would just die. I would just literally die.
Yeah, I was like, no, I quit. Never mind. I'll run in a treadmill.
Right. Yeah. Oh, I hate a treadmill though.
So do I.
I hate a treadmill.
Can't stand it.
Yeah. Exactly. I will run. We had a rule last year where it was like 12 degrees was sort of like the lowest that we would run in.
I ran in single digits.
Yeah, we used to. I like that again. And you finish with like the beard is all like iced over. You look you should be on like the National Geographic cover.
Yep.
I like it.
I have a really important question for both of you. Were you running from something? Like, was something chasing you?
No. Then why are you running?
My sordid past.
All right. I love running. I don't know what it is. I have bad knees, and I still love running.
Yeah. See, Philip's on my team right here.
If you see me running, you should run too, because there's something chasing me. Is there a baseball design, wildlife correspondent, and musical enthusiast, Ranger Amy?
Yeah.
Paul?
That's her, Patrick, and it's like baseball by design. Yeah, we left out the by there.
Oh man,
prepositions matter.
Baseball design, baseball by design. I'll run in 100 over a 10 degree any day. I don't, no. Especially with the humidity on top of that here.
Yeah, right.
Oh, forget it.
That would kill me.
No.
Listen, it's time for a mental health check-in, guys.
Yeah, let's do that.
How are
My
you?
mental
Because
health went downhill, so I don't really
Anna's
care at this point.
Anna wasn't here last week. We had Eric the Peanut Guy here instead because Anna was traveling, celebrating her anniversary. Congratulations on your anniversary.
Congratulations.
What number anniversary was it?
6 years. 6 years.
Holy smokes. Good
I
for you guys.
know. Crazy.
Yeah, that is
Crazy
great.
how fast time moves.
Congratulations to you
For
both.
real.
But you weren't here because you were off celebrating. We had Eric
As
the
you
Peanut
should.
Guy. Yep. We had Eric the Peanut Guy, who was also fun, but just less so.
He ain't no Anna.
That was me. I'm sorry. I was copying the YouTube link so that I could post it to Twitter. I'm sorry. That was all me.
How dare you?
But then
watch. I caught up, and I thought Eric did a great job. I'm a little concerned that my job might be in jeopardy. My favorite
would never be.
was when he went, "I like Anna, but."
Yeah, no, it was. If anyone's going to get replaced on this, Anna, it's not you.
It'll be Ed.
But then since last week, obviously, the Guardians met their own untimely demise. I was feeling good about things, and then of course the Phillies got boat raced today by the Padres, so that series is now tied. So Anna, you're the furthest removed from all of us here, or from the demise of your team. How are you doing after the Rays got eliminated?
I can't say I was surprised this year. I mean, I don't think you can finish the season with, losing, what was it, like 8 of 10 or 5 of 7 or
Finish
something.
the season the way they did.
Yeah, horrifically, and have much hope for doing great things in the postseason. And so I was a little less shocked and hurt as I was last year. So, and then, a week on the beach solves all wounds.
Yes, it does.
Yeah. So I will say I was texting our good friend Jim last night, and we were talking about this matchup here, the Yankees and the Stros, and I was sitting back thinking, it's almost a relief to not have like a team that I am, dearly attached to at this point. So I can sit back and I can watch everything happen and, not worry too much about my blood pressure. So it's not all bad. It's not all bad. Obviously, I'd prefer the Rays still be in there, but it's not.
I get you. Yeah.
So I actually, you raise a really interesting point, which is it's actually not that much fun during the games. Like there's so much at stake. It's so stressful that it's actually like after the games, amazing. If your team wins, like afterwards, it's just like you rewatch. I mean, I have watched the Rhys Hoskins bat slam 1,000 times. Like I can't stop watching it. Right. Bryce Harper's had a couple of home runs that I've rewatched a few times. I mean, I even went back the other day and rewatched the Phillies 6-run inning against the Cardinals in the wild card round. And so it's like, the actual like reliving this stuff after it happens is great.
Yeah.
The watching of it during is like so stressful.
Yeah. Tell me about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was concerned for you when you texted us last night and you're like, my heart is beating so fast. And I was like,
it was 15 minutes after the game. And I was just
like, should we call an ambulance for him?
Yeah. I was like, I'm a bit concerned.
I you know what? It's funny though, because I'm in the same boat as Anna right now.
Yeah.
So, but I texted Paul earlier today.
Yeah.
In the afternoon.
I'm like, I know, Ed.
I was like, pardon my language, guys. But I was like, Bilotti better get his head out of his what, because it is not a hat. But I'm not, it's not, none of them are my team, Padres or Phillies. My Guardians got eliminated yesterday. We should have played on.
What do you think, Ed? What do you think about the rain delay?
I'm just going to say all this said in the Trop.
It's got a roof.
Not such a
wouldn't have happened in Tampa Bay.
I'm all for a retractable roof. I've been for a retractable roof in all baseball stadiums for the longest time.
This is what Ranger Amy said. She made that. She's like, they should put a retractable roof on Yankee Stadium.
They should.
And I was just like,
Progressive Field as well, because it would have happened the same thing. I will say though, I do not want to hear it from any Yankee fan. Sorry, John. Sorry, Don, if you're listening. However, the Yankees purposely delay that game. I don't want to hear it from anybody, that said, "Oh no," it's like, no, they did. I don't want to hear it. That's BS.
So Ed, how are you doing?
I'm not good.
And mental health check in on Ed here now.
No, but and they play the game, right? We were undefeated. I was like, oh, you know what? We're undefeated, day games, whatever, you know. But it was very evident of from the Guardians' point of view that they need a big bet on that lineup. They need a big bet. Like, I mean, I'm all for it. I love playing small ball. I think small ball is great. I think it was, it got them to where they are. But when they came up against a lineup that is just full of I mean, these guys are just homer after homer after homer. You can't compete with something like that. And it was evident last night. Like, I mean, come on now. Stanton, all he has to do is just swing the bat, and that ball is just jumping off of his bat. Right. So
here's Donnie Wise. Donnie Wise coming at you. Look, I don't know how often we get to see Mark Viquez jump in on the podcast here. Hello, Mark Viquez.
What's up, Mark? First of all, you're right, Donnie. Know the rules, right? So they put the tarp because it was going to rain really hard, and it never really. It was raining, and then you had
out the air
Guardians players playing football with their fans because it was raining really hard. Other than that, it's it was a great year though. I mean, I can't be mad. I had them going third overall in the division. You know what I mean? They were playing with house money, and it was a great season. It was a great season, and I'm happy for them. The future is bright for the Guardians, right? I think they have a lot of things to be happy about. But the Yankees were the better team. Simple as that.
Mark says no trivia or kickball tonight.
Ooh, kickball sounds fun.
Kickball is fun. Let me tell you, I play in a kickball league, and it's totally fun. It's a great time. I mean, everyone, you guys have seen these calves, right? Like, so these calves are they're no joke in a kickball league here. So it's unfortunately, you've also seen my arms, and so when it comes to actually throwing the kickball, that's where everything falls apart. So,
hey, congrats, Mark, winning $50 in trivia night last night. All right,
$50 in trivia
last week.
Night. Very good.
Good for you. I'm with John. I think again, there is a way to put a roof on a stadium, but it still look old school. Make it look old school. Don't do what the Rangers did. It looks like the Home Depot, or a Lowe's,
or an airport,
airport.
Yeah, I still feel like I'm at an airport
hangar.
Yeah,
I love that there's a whole conversation going on in the thread here about
oh, look at
that. So this brings up the question,
okay,
that we were talking about beforehand about the parade of excuses that we've been seeing for the teams that have been eliminated.
Yeah.
Interesting to me that last year's World Series champion had 88 wins, and no one said peep about it, right? There was no complaining about the fact that last year's World Series champion had 88 wins. This year, we've got, the 87 win Phillies and the 89 win Padres playing for the National League Championship Series. There was a lot of concern that, like, the Dodgers and the Braves got the shaft because the long delay affected their timing. The Braves played day games, then they didn't have as good a record in day games as they did in night games, and so that was disrespectful. And then, of course, in the American League, you had both top teams with buys actually did make it to the championship series, and so
yep.
So I'm wondering, what is it? Does the layoff hurt or not? Should it matter? Should you, if you're the defending World Series champion, should you get a night game?
No. They need to stop it with this crap. Like, I mean, what are we doing? Are we just catering to the big teams?
It's possible I spend too much time on Twitter, right? Like, because that's where all this was happening. Right?
Are we catering to the big teams? Buster Only, first of all, that was one of the dumbest comments that you could make. Like, oh, we should let them choose. No, we should not let them choose. This is what you do. You win. The season matters. You won all those games in order for you to have a bye. Good for you. You earned it. Now sit down, wait until everybody else plays, and then you play the winner. Simple as that. You know,
I do know, Ed. Yeah.
I think it's interesting, right? Because like I think that's like even a 7-game series, right? You could make the argument that a best of 7 series is still a short series after 162 games, right?
Yep.
So you could easily win 100, 110 games and then lose 4 straight. Like any team. It's baseball. Anything can happen. And so
you
I
do it
think
during the
that
season anyways,
yeah,
right? You could lose it
exactly.
during the
Yeah,
season.
it's not unheard of. It's just
Right.
not. And so you know, and then you add in these different outside influences and components that are kind of outside the control, weather and plane delays and weird things that keep happening. And it's just like that's what makes baseball's postseason so exciting to me is that like anything can happen. Like chaos is 100% like team chaos.
Good.
Let's go.
A
Like
goose
yeah,
on the outfield.
phenomenal. Right. Yeah. Like it's that weird stuff that you look back on and you're like, oh, do you remember that year where such and such happened? And you know,
Eh,
it's wild. It's not like the other sports where it seems that
One and
the
you're out. One loss and
yeah,
you're out. Yeah.
yeah, and it's pretty well known, like, you know, if you're playing Tom Brady in the Super Bowl, you're probably not gonna beat him, you know? Because other sports aren't designed the same way to just flip on a dime like a baseball game can.
Let's think about Tom Brady losing in the Super Bowl. Oh, I remember one.
Yeah, you do.
Do you?
Eagles.
You know, I mean, obviously, you know, Tom Brady is no match for Nick Foles. And so, you know, obviously we all, speaking of the Eagles, by the way, the Eagles,
The Eagles.
IGGLES. My brother, who is, you know, I love him dearly, but he's an unrepentant jerk. And he's got amazing tickets to all the Philadelphia sports things. He went on 3 consecutive days with my nephew, who is like 15 years old. He went to game 3 of the National League Division Series against the Mets, the Rhys Hoskins bat slam one. Game 4 of the National League Division Series, where the Phillies clinched the next day. And then the next night, he went to Eagles Cowboys on Sunday Night Football. So he got to see live and in person the 3 events that made this one of the all-time great Philadelphia sports weekends. So it's
That
I was just like, I was so jealous. He sent me whenever he goes to the Eagles game, he sends me a video of him singing "Fly Eagles Fly" after they score a touchdown, and you could like barely hear him because he was so hoarse from yelling for like 2 straight nights. I was just like, I'm so jealous.
That's awesome.
I know,
I love it.
I know. I was so jealous.
So let me ask you guys: are you guys a fan of this new format, right? With the wild card format, 3-game series, the 2 buys. What did you guys think overall? Was sucking Paul's brother?
So Donnie must be a Cowboys fan since he's a Yankees fan also.
Right, yeah.
I assume he roots for the Cowboys and Duke basketball.
So what did you guys think of the whole format?
I like it so far.
I'm a fan of it. I think it was great.
I used to really like the 1-game like play-in game basically with the wild card, but that's
I
partially because my team was never involved in it.
Hated it. My team got screwed because of it. No.
So I always enjoyed the drama of it, right? Because like it was a built-in elimination game, like to start the playoffs. But the 3-game series I liked, right? Like it was, you know, I think it sort of honored the fact that teams made the playoffs, especially if the you know if it went 3, right? Like I think only one of them did, right? It was Mets and Padres was the only one to go 3.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm a fan. I like it. You know, I'd be annoyed, right? Like I'd be annoyed if I were the Mets and I won 100 games and I had to play a best of 3 series and get eliminated.
But the Dodgers play better.
But the Padres were, you know, they were the better. They outplayed them. They outplayed
Dodgers
them.
play better. So. The Braves beat them out. I mean,
yeah.
You know,
but then everyone says like, what I don't get is like the whole like the argument that like, oh, the Braves tired themselves out by walking down the Mets and beating them. I'm like, what are they supposed to do? Like go out there and just like take it easy and lose, right? Like so.
No, they didn't tie themselves. They also had the bye, so they had time to rest.
Yeah.
The problem was they didn't show up.
Yeah.
I just refuse to believe that the problem is like an additional 3 games. I mean, you're talking about 162 games in a season, you know? I don't buy this whole, like, "Oh, those extra 3 games really worked us over," or that extra time off or something like that. There's too many, like, scheduling discrepancies in the middle of the year. There's too many 10 games straight without a day off in the middle of a season. Like, find a way to figure it out, you know? So I don't buy it. I like the wild card format only because I could watch baseball, like, all day, every day, and it
It's
was
like it's like
marvelous.
college
Yeah,
basketball, right?
right.
March
Yeah.
Madness.
March Madness, that's exactly what it felt like. I was a huge fan of that. I thought it was a little ironic that, as Paul mentioned, only one of the series actually went to game 3. So, you would have had the same result if they were all just one-game play-ins except for the Pods and Mets. But, yeah, I like it. I mean, I don't know. I don't really get the whole issue with the postseason, and a lot of, on the other side of that coin, you see, like, Dodgers fans and Mets fans and, Braves fans now saying that the entire season was a waste, like,
Right. Also
why
not
did
true,
we play?
right?
Not
Yeah,
true at all,
bizarre,
dude.
bizarre. I
Yeah.
just, like, that's one of the things I have trouble wrapping my head around,
Why don't you ask the White Sox fans, see if they will switch
yeah,
with them in a heartbeat?
yeah.
Season ticket holders for the Twins.
Right. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
would have switched. Listen, I'm a Guardians fan. I would take 100-game, season. Absolutely.
Ed, I have a question for you about the Guardians. So, sort of tangentially related.
Yeah.
Do you think that the success that the team had this year helped people get over any frustration they had about the name change?
No.
Interesting. Okay.
Nope, because I've seen it online, and then there's some people that are saying, "Oh, still the tribe, still the tribe,
Yeah.
still the Indian." There will always be my Indians. Like, first of all, get over it. Not your team. You know what I mean? They already
Right.
changed.
Right. Right.
They're the Guardians. They're going to be my team. I bought merch. I bought a flag. I bought the hoodie.
I just sort of wondered if there were people who were like, "I'm never going to another game," and then all of a sudden, like, everyone in Cleveland's all jazzed about baseball, and it's just like, "Well, I'll go to this one."
So here's a little weird thing about Cleveland. Cleveland is a football town first. They have a team in the Cleveland Browns who've sucked for so long, and they'll rather Cleveland radio. It's all Browns, all Browns, all Browns, all Browns. You have a team that has been so successful under Tito for so long that, like, the Cleveland Guardians are sometimes at one point they were the third favorite team in that city.
Yeah.
Behind the Browns, the Cavaliers, and then Guardians.
Yeah.
Right. So for those who are saying, they're still the tribe, you know what? Get over it.
Yeah. Yeah, I was just curious. I just wasn't, obviously you're more in tune with that fan base.
And you could tell by, like, the first playoff series, against Tampa, how it was not a sold out game. Not one sold out game for a playoff.
Yeah. All right. Philip asks a question. Why do you think it's been so long since we've had a repeat World Series champion?
Parody.
And then a little trivia to throw in there with it. What was the last team to get back to the World Series 2 years in a row? Not win it necessarily, but reach the World Series 2 years in a row.
Houston.
Yeah.
I don't
Texas?
think so. When
it was
did
Houston, yeah.
Yeah, Houston.
What years did Houston make it?
No, he's right, because it was 18 was Red Sox, 19 is Houston, 20 is obviously my Rays, 21 goes back to Houston, so that's not consecutive.
Yeah.
I'd say Texas. Is it the Rangers?
It's not the Rangers.
No?
No.
Dodgers.
I'll give you a hint. There's a reason I'm asking this question.
Philadelphia.
It's the 08-09 Phillies. Oh, Dave had it right. I didn't see
Interesting. Philadelphia, huh?
Philadelphia, 08 and 09 Phillies were the last team to get back to the World Series 2 years in a row.
But here's the thing.
I thought it was Dodgers, 17-18. No? 17.
I need a list. I need a list.
I'm looking now. Yeah. So let's see. 17-18 Dodgers.
Boom.
What?
Count it.
Anna.
17-18. Houston Astros against Los Angeles Dodgers. Boston Red Sox against Los Angeles Dodgers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dang.
Mm-hmm. Not the Phillies.
Oh well.
Dodgers.
I don't know. I guess I heard that. Wherever I heard that, I was misled. I apologize. Bad information. I did a bad job.
That was the 2018. That was the year Alex Cora, when they won, and then he got suspended the next year, and they have not been back.
Thank you, Donnie.
That's funny.
So back to Philip's question then about why no repeats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just winning the World Series is hard.
Yeah. And
having a winning season is hard.
Yeah. 162 games. Again, it goes back to, I mean, like, look at the Rays. I mean, you have a phenomenal year with a couple of guys like Nick Anderson and Tyler Glasnow, and then one of them blows out an elbow and the other one just falls to pieces in some other which way. And like, it's hard. It's really difficult to be really good for 162 games. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, 162 plus 11 to 14 more, depending on the playoffs.
Right.
Am I trying too hard to deflect from today? I was nervous about which Aaron Nola was going to show up today.
It was not the good Aaron Nola.
It was not the good Aaron Nola when he was gone after giving up 4 runs in 5 innings.
I felt so bad for their dad, you know, like, oh my goodness, they kept panning to him,
showing him, yeah.
I'm like, oh, like how brutal, because like, what do? You got a son on each team, and one of them is just embarrassing the other one. It's like, be nice to your brother.
I don't know. The dad probably thinks that's funny.
Yeah,
he probably does. So, it's hard not to figure out. Now it's like, I mean, it's hard. It's hard just to make it to the playoffs.
Mm-hmm. Playoffs.
You're talking about playoffs, right? It's hard just enough to make it to the playoffs. Then, even harder to make it to the World Series. I mean, because now you have what, a 3-game series, a 5-game series, a 7-game series in the LCS, and then World Series. So I mean, that's a lot of games you got to play just to have a chance to make it to the World Series. That's hard.
It is. Yeah. I mean, you figure there's like 10, 12 teams who have a legitimate chance to win every year. So.
And you know what it always comes down to? Like, I stand by this. I think you can look into analysis, and you can look into numbers, and you can look into whatever, whoever wears the right socks on a Tuesday or whatever it may be. But it always comes down to which team gets hot at the right time. That's it.
Agreed. Yep.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yep.
Now, I will say, though, that the Phillies lost today because today I allowed myself to think, I wonder what would happen if the Phillies won the World Series. And so that was reality knocking me back into,
shut your face.
Exactly. Yeah.
Here's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to stake a claim on who I would like to see win a championship this year, because every time I've done it thus far in the postseason, the team has immediately been,
the curse of Anna.
Thanks, Anna.
So I will keep my mouth shut here in October.
We're not saying we're superstitious. Just a little stitious.
We're not superstitious. The interesting thing that's happened to me, and I feel it more this year than I have really any other year, is by virtue of like really getting to know friends in this, Twitterverse and I have like so many more like rooting interests, or like at least like friends who I want to see their teams succeed. And very often those teams play each other. Like when the Blue Jays and the Mariners were playing in the Battle of Canada there, that was like,
I love that you keep calling it a Battle of Canada. Is hilarious.
Battle for the hearts of Canada.
Right.
The Mariners and the Blue Jays. I'm pretty sure this might be another erroneous fact that I just throw out there wildly irresponsibly, but I think that Seattle is farther north than Toronto.
I think you might be right.
I think I'm right about that.
Don't
Andy
ask
Richter.
me, I think Montreal and Toronto are, just a hop, skip, and a jump from each other. So.
You did. I remember that.
I was talking with Chris Creamer for the podcast. I was interviewing Chris Creamer of sportslogos.net for my 50th episode. And I mentioned to him, I was just like, hey, I was in Canada, I was in Vancouver, I was sitting there on the shores of Bowen Island having some poutine and looking at the mountains, and I could see him like twitch a little bit. And I'm like, I know that Vancouver is 2,000 miles away from Toronto. I know it's not close, but I just thought you should know that I was in Canada.
And by the way, you're right. Seattle is.
Is it farther north? I thought it was farther north than Toronto. There, I've redeemed myself. Donnie,
but not by much. Not by much.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's like winning by one, right?
You still win.
Donnie Wise mentions Paul controls the universe. Andy Richter Controls the Universe was a wildly underrated sitcom that only lasted like 6 or 12 episodes or something. It had like this super short run. But I don't know if Donnie was referencing Andy Richter Controls the Universe, but if he was, it's a great reference.
This year was a hard year not really hard, but like you said, though, it's like, rooting for a different team.
Yeah.
Like I was very involved with the Phillies, with the Toronto Blue Jays.
Don't talk about the Phillies in the past tense.
Oh, dude, calm down, bro. Like, Tampa, right? I'm like rooting for my Guardians, but at the same time, I feel bad because it was against Tampa.
Yeah.
So I cheered and I was happy, and then I was like, man.
Yeah.
The Blue Jays Mariners series hurt my soul. The Rays and the Guardians going against one. I mean, you guys, come on.
Yeah. And I mean, but it was a good series, though. Like, it was
Absolutely.
2 equal teams.
Hey, we got 3 games for the price of 2. So.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
I feel you, because now it's like I know someone. I've had the opportunity to interview someone from basically a fan of every team.
Yeah.
And so everybody's got these stories, and it's so ironic to me because I told Eric and Johnny on EFA when I was there, like the first time baseball truly broke my heart was when the Phillies beat the Rays in that horrific Game 5 of 2008. And then like the irony of that being now so many people that I adore, like their best memory is just like the polarity.
Isn't it crazy?
That's funny.
Man, it's wild because now it's like that Guardians the walk-off against the Rays to end the season is a little easier to swallow because I know that Ed's pumping his fist and he's excited about it.
But at the same time, I was happy, but not really, because it was against Corey Kluber.
Yeah.
Oh, it wasn't because of Anna. It wasn't because of Anna. It was. I feel bad for my good friend.
Listen, this
Corey
is me.
Kluber.
I was like texting. I was literally texting after. I was like, sorry, Anna.
Yeah, Ed texted a very bad word to the Curve Brim Media text thread.
I did.
Yeah.
But I was happy. I was thrilled, and then at the same time, I was like, sorry, Anna.
And
it was a good season by both teams. It was a good series. That was my favorite series.
I'm not trying to dredge up bad memories here, Anna, but I'm genuinely curious about this question, and this is for everybody. What Major League Baseball would have done in 2008, Game 5? Cole Hamels was pitching, had a 2-0 lead, and like the rains just like set in, and they let the game go long enough such that Tampa Bay came back and like in just the sloppiest of sloppy rains, Tampa Bay came back and tied it up. And after 5 innings, it was tied 2-2. It was 5.5 innings. That was tied 2-2, and they postponed the game for like 48 hours. And like we just like got to sit there in the cold rain waiting for the game to resume. Technically, by Major League Baseball rules, there was no rule saying that it was not the case that a game can't be rain shortened in the World Series.
I was just gonna say that. Yeah.
What if the Phillies had maintained the lead?
Would they have ended it?
Would they? What would they have done to the World Series if they had just like they couldn't play the game anymore? Do they end the World Series on a 5-inning rain shortened game, and then like 2 hours after they postpone it, they're like, game's over, Phillies are the World Series champion? Or do they just say, we're just going to do whatever it takes to play it? We're just going to resume as soon as the rain stops. It might be 48 hours from now.
I think that's the right call, right? Like, how could you? I don't think anyone wants to win that way. I don't think anyone wants to lose that way. So I feel like,
I mean, I still would have bought a t-shirt.
Right. I would have counted it 100%.
Yeah, you still
Yeah.
count it, but
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah,
Right.
but, you want your fans in the stands, you want everybody getting pumped, and, like, you don't want it to be
You
like
need that highlight.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly. I
look
mean
at 2016,
Yeah.
bottom
Oh,
of
yeah.
the ninth, Cleveland, momentum, we just tied it, and then it just
Cleveland and
poured.
the rain delay, I will say, not a dynamic duo.
No.
No.
No, we lost 2 series already. Like, I mean, we were there. I mean,
Yeah.
that 2016, it was like, yes, Rajay Davis hit that home run. That place was electric. We would have won. We would have won that series. And it rained. And that's it. That was it. That was the death, hit. That was just Yankees. Same thing.
Now, do you think, like, and I don't want to get too deep into the, like, sort of philosophical religion here. Do you think God hates the Cleveland baseball team?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so too. They did something in 1954, and ever since then, it's just
They
like,
sold their souls to the devil, and God was like, I got you guys.
Or it's, maybe they're just he was just over the
So
the
there,
Cubs fiasco.
Ninjas.
so there was there's this rumor out there that Native Americans actually put a curse on the team
Okay,
because of the name.
sure.
So they cursed the team, and then they finally changed the name, but it's still too close, so they're not quite there yet. Is my thing. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
you're calling yourselves Guardians.
Well, so if they
you
had
kept half your logo,
Right.
It's cheaper that way, I've heard.
that's true. That's true.
So
We only need you to design half a word mark.
Right.
they even kept the same jerseys. They just ripped the Indians and put Guardians on it.
But
had
so
the-
I remember a very similar conversation back in 08 when they went from the Devil Rays to the Rays. It was like, oh look, all you had to do was drop the word devil, and now you're in
Right.
the
Oh,
World Series.
still there.
Right.
Still haven't won.
Right.
But they made it.
So,
First of all,
so
it's
did
nice
the
to
Indians.
see.
The Indians made it with the name and didn't win it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice to see Lynn popped up.
Florida
Lynn,
Marlins.
Lynn, by the way, very unexpectedly sent me an awesome new Cubs helmet with one of the logos that they haven't had on their helmet before. So thank you,
Oh,
Lynn, for
cool.
that.
Oh,
Cleveland Spiders, that was my call. That was your
my
call
too,
Ed.
Mark. It was mine too.
Yeah. Yeah, I was as a Richmond Spider.
They should
what I
have put the
wanted.
Cleveland Spiders so that way they could have right it or wrong when all of that happened with the Cleveland Spiders. A lot of people are still like, oh, they were the worst team. Yes, for a reason.
The bridge statues.
The Cleveland Bridge statues. How many? I was laughing so much though doing the whole Bob Costas thing where they kept calling them the Indians.
Oh yeah,
during the game.
They
Right.
did that
Like-
at the All-Star game.
They did that in the All-Star game. They
Yeah.
did that during the TBS TNT pregame.
Yeah.
They did that on MLB Network. It's like, oh, the Cleveland Indians. I'm like, they're the Guardians. See, that's what it's too similar.
Yeah,
They're too similar of a name. They
Right.
should have,
Yeah.
whatever. Anyways, I digress.
The Cleveland Naps.
Yeah, they were known as the
Cleveland
Naps,
Tito's.
the Cleveland Tito's.
Um,
Yeah, well, the Tito's vodka wouldn't allow it.
Nice. The Colt 45s are over here trying to mount a rally.
Yeah.
Do that.
Yeah. They got first and second with one out in the bottom of the fifth. Yeah, I know. I sent everyone to MLB.com, didn't I?
The St. Louis Browns. They were sent to the Browns. Yeah.
Gargoyles. I could just imagine a play-by-play announcer trying to get gargoyles out.
He did call Shane Bieber Justin Bieber.
That is awesome. That's spectacular.
Oh
bees.
God, I was so sick of Bob Costas.
I've always liked Bob Costas, but I felt like even by Bob Costas's standards, he was a little Bob Costasy for this.
He's a good, like, talking, when you don't have him calling a game, he's good, right? Good storyteller and all that, but as calling a game, I'm like, I am ready to gouge my eyeballs out.
He did a ton of work this past year with the Negro Leagues Museum.
Good. Again, really good guy, but I could have done with him. Although I'll take Bob Costas over anybody teaming up with Alex Rodriguez.
Oh my God. I was like, what did the Phillies do in the first round to deserve Alex Rodriguez and Michael Kay as their announcing team? I was just like, what did we do to deserve this? I was like, I
Oh,
apologize. Whatever it is, I apologize.
I'm sorry. I'll apologize for the whole, Philly nation.
Did you see in San Diego, they put up a mural? Did you see this story? They put up a mural somewhere of like the San Diego chicken, like stepping on the head of the Philly fanatic. And
Wow.
yeah, I know. Yeah. It was like this mural on the side of a building, and the Padres lost 2-0. And all like a bunch of Padres fans thought that it was just like total bad karma to do this. And so they actually went, and it looked like it might have also drummed up some unfavorable comparisons to like police brutality, right? Like it looked like it might have been like a little too close to the
No,
George
it's like,
Floyd situation.
no. We kind of need to just stop with
And
that.
so
Yeah.
it was up for like a day, and they painted over it. So now it's just a blank wall again. So
Good.
But look who just won a ball game.
Look who just won a ball game.
Yeah.
The other thing about this, though, was the offense that I took to it was that the San Diego chicken is not even the San Diego mascot. He's the famous San Diego chicken. He was a mascot for a radio station, and then he became like sort of the unofficial mascot for the Padres, but he was never officially the San Diego Padres mascot.
Can I ask you guys a question about this is like way off, but this is part of baseball. Would you rather have the colors of for the Padres, like that blue that they have, or what they have now, that brown and yellow?
I like the brown and yellow. I think the brown and yellow has come all the way back. I think it was terrible like when they first did it, but I think like now it's so unique. I think it's like the Brewers MB, right? Like there's too much. There's too
many red, white, and blue. You mean?
There's too many red and blue. I would love to see the Phillies get a unique color palette. I was just talking about this. They should go
back to their burgundy color.
The Seattle. It was part of the Chris Creamer interview for the podcast. The Mariners colors are ones that I could like totally get behind, right? Like I think that's part of the thing that had everyone like embracing them, was they have kind of sort of a fun color palette that maybe they lifted a little bit from Curved Brim Media. I'm just saying.
I was going to say very similar. Yeah.
very super
similar. Yeah. We got to get Eric Mertens on the line here and, put him on the spot.
We need to have him apologize to us.
Yes. We are owed an apology. Well, and this is why they went 18 innings without scoring. It was the curse of the CBM logo. And so,
listen, let's not talk about extra innings. God. Yeah, I'm all about change. Like the Guardians should change their colors. There's too many red and blue colors out there. Yeah. Red, white, and blue. I'm so sick of it.
This is one of the things I really like about the A's. I actually really like the green and yellow.
I like the light green one, not the because they had like two versions of the green, but that light green that they have.
Yeah,
See, and I'm a fan.
And by the way, they're not Oakland A's; they're the Las Vegas A's. Come on, let's call them the Vegas A's.
Vegas Athletics.
Not quite yet. I'm a fan of the Rays retro, the forest green with the purple accent. I think was phenomenal, because while I like the new look, I think like you guys are saying, everybody's blue. Right. Everybody's blue, everybody's red. So I like the Padres. I like the brown. I love the word mark. I love the pinstripe. I love the yellow. I know they can't go black because then they're basically just a Pittsburgh lookalike. But
every team in Pittsburgh,
something better than that brown. I don't hate it. I don't love it.
I'm indifferent.
Oh no, I like it. I actively like it.
It's different, and I like that. I like that it is different.
Are these colors that Mark has named here, are these the official A's colors? The Kelly green, Knoxville gold, and wedding white.
Wow.
I was helping. You can find the Pantone colors for every sports team's brand out there, and so my running buddy Chris is a Mariners fan, and we were painting his the ceiling of his garage Mariners colors, and so we went to Lowe's and got them to mix up some paint in the Pantone colors for the Mariners. But I was just saying, like when we were there in Seattle at a game, I remember just looking around and being like, I love this color palette, right? Like, and even like some of their previous color palettes, they all still sort of match, right? Like sometimes you'll see like one Phillies fan wearing maroon and another Phillies fan right next to him wearing the red, and it's just sort of like they just don't, they don't look
It
like
just
they're part
doesn't
of the
make
same
any sense. Yeah,
heritage.
yeah.
Yeah.
What about sand and light blue for the Guardians?
Fort Knox Gold. Well, I'd like to see the Oakland A's move back to Philadelphia and have Philly be a two-team town again.
No. Let's not.
My grandfather was a Philadelphia A's fan. He had a purple jacket with the elephant on it on the chest.
Nice.
Yeah.
I do love the Kelly green. The Kelly green is a good look. That's a good look.
A lot of Eagles fans clamoring for the team to go back to Kelly green.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, but that old school helmet was so nice. I like that.
Eagles-
the old
green.
helmet. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's so we all agree too many red and blue.
Too many red and blue. Actually, and I'm putting my Phillies in there with it too, right? Like
Boston Brave. Wow.
This is the Phillies red and the Phillies blue. I love the Phillies. I don't love their branding. I think the script is a little goofy.
I'm with you, Philip. As long as they don't bring those god awful shorts
and the collared shirts.
Oh my God, the softball shirts.
The Carolina Disco Turkeys did it though. The Carolina Disco Turkeys played in shorts.
They did.
They did. It's what was it? Ken Griffey's turn forward the clock card.
Oh my God!
Wow, looked like a lot of the City Connect stuff coming down. So
Kelly green and gold is a great look for a podcast logo.
I wonder who has that. Crazy.
I feel like I've seen one before. I don't know. It's not coming to mind.
I'll Google
it. I want the Sox to bring back the baby blue road jerseys. Ooh. But the White Sox, I'm with the White Sox. I just keep them black and white. I'm good with that one.
I want the Fort Wayne Tin Caps to wear actual metal hats for a game.
Yes.
Like wear a real pot on your head.
That'd be hilarious.
Yeah.
I like it.
Have an actual hat that looks like a tin cap.
I do like the hat. Gradients too.
I love DMs. Brought back detectors a couple years ago. Yeah. Who was the first team to wear the sleeveless jerseys? Was it Cincinnati?
I don't know the answer to that question. We got to get our crack research team on it.
I know, right?
It's a good question. Yeah.
Somebody Google it.
Use the Google machine.
By the
Cleveland
way,
had a sleeveless jersey for a while.
So back to the San Diego Chicken and the Philly Fanatic fiasco.
Yeah.
You like that alliteration just off the top of my head?
Yeah, it's fiasco with a PH.
Yeah.
I like it. It's pretty good.
It's so San Diego loses, they black out the or they go over the mural, and now all of a sudden they win a game.
Yeah.
I want to talk about trolling in baseball because of this whole like Josh Naylor incident and
man, you got it all riled up.
I'm so curious to hear your take on a professional athlete behaving like a 6-year-old child on either side.
Oh, on either side. First of all, Josh Naylor has been doing that all season long. So they were, the fact that like, all of a sudden the media made a big deal about it. I'm like, God, here we go.
I don't ever want to see Major League Baseball like be less fun than the NFL. So I always sort of gauge it according to like what would they allow in the NFL and what would they not, right?
Well, they're not allowed anything anymore in the NFL. You can't even, touch a quarterback, and then all of a sudden it's, roughing the passer. But anyways, I digress. I was good. Like, listen, if you do the baby on it and you hit a home run, you can do it. But if you strike out and you get an out, you better sit there and take it because it's gonna come right back to you. However, when you have a second baseman who had not hit anything all series, batting less than 160, his batting average, bro, shut up. Garrett Cole,
I like Wound Up Ed.
Go.
Wound Up Ed is the best Ed.
Yeah. I feel like it's still fresh. Like I have to remind myself that this just happened yesterday. So
yesterday, guys. Excellent.
Hasn't had a lot of
I'm out of here.
Process.
I'm kind of stinging from the Phillies losing one game right now, right? Like, so, it's like, I get it. dating someone who's way more optimistic about my own sports team has been a funny experience because like we're sitting here and I'm watching the Phillies. They they're playing in the National League Championship Series. I'm like, how in the world did we get here? And Amy starts asking questions about like, what are flights like back to Philly when the World Series is going to be happening? And I'm like, Amy.
So listen, I was like, babe, if Cleveland makes it to the World Series, can we go? And she was like, as long as you can get the tickets less than $500, yes.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. My brother has tickets for me this weekend, but the flights are it's like $900 round trip to get back to Philly right now. So
we have a standing agreement that if and when the Rays return to the World Series, we will spend that entire week in Tampa Bay.
Ooh.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah.
I like that.
So
because
maybe I can go back.
even for the away games, I want to be at like
Be
a local
there.
bar around because I've had enough of this watching the Rays in Houston, in Arlington against the Dodgers. Like I've had enough of not being the home team. It's a brutal life to live in the postseason.
I agree. Being a transplanted fan is there's something to be said. I mean, part of the
three of us are transplanted.
Yeah. part of the fun of rooting for a sports team is the tribalism of it, right?
Yeah.
Like the cheering with your friends and your family and the, singing the Fly Eagles Fly when they score a touchdown. I mean, so it sounds like a road trip.
I'll say this. When the Cavs won their championship, I was at the obviously they were playing in San Francisco, right? But like I was at in the stadium, like I was at Gund Arena, right, or whatever they call it, the Q.
Gund Arena sounds like an STD. I'm sorry.
Gund Arena was like Gordon, Gordon Gunn.
Dark.
That was the owner. He was the previous owner.
Going to Gund Arena, little penicillin will clear that right up.
But I was in there. And that place was so loud. And then as soon as they won, I went outside and then I was hugging people. I have no idea who they were. They were drunk out of their mind. But like it was the coolest thing ever because we were all celebrating that the Cavs won the championship.
Right.
I would love to get back to that, dude.
Right.
God, I would love to get back to that.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
The Browns are not doing it.
I have been in Colorado. I was here for the Eagles Super Bowl, and I was here when the Phillies won in 2008. So, Patrick is admonishing me. It all went downhill. Everything was going great for Philadelphia sports until the NBA season started, and now the Sixers lost their opener. That because the Sixers, I think, everyone's assuming they're going to win the NBA championship this year. So the Eagles. The only team with better odds to win the Super Bowl than the Eagles right now is Buffalo. So, And in 2008, for Game 5, Anna, that we were just talking about, my brother told me after the fact that he had a ticket for me for that Game 5. Have I said that already on this podcast? It's
no, you shared that with me, and I just feel like brutal. Wow.
Yeah.
Horrific.
Speaking of the Phillies, by the way, I haven't had a chance to point it out yet.
Oh yeah, I have the same hat.
The Great Bunbino.
Nice. Very nice.
Mustard only.
So I would like to point out that I fulfilled my obligation. We had made a friendly road here amongst the CBM crew that whomever's I don't know.
Whoever
team made made it furthest in the postseason. The rest of us would have to buy a hat. So obviously with the guards out last night, I texted Paul and I said, does a Clearwater Threshers hat fulfill my quota for purchasing a Philadelphia Phillies hat? And he was gracious enough to say yes. So I got a brand new Threshers hat in the mail today. I saw it just shipped, so I'm excited for that.
I am still deciding whether or not I want to get a minor league one or the Philadelphia Cooperstown cleanup.
That powder blue with the maroon P on it, man, is
I can't see. They don't. All they have is the burgundy on the 47 site. I haven't seen the powder blue. If I can find a powder blue, I will take it because I like that one.
Oh, here's Patrick. He's bringing the joke he already made on our Twitter thread to the air here. So Anna, there's two things I want to say about that.
Mm-hmm.
One, it was important to me that you would get a hat that you might actually wear. And so he's picked out a cool hat with a shark on it. I like it very much. The Threshers brand I really like. And 2, you say I was gracious about it, but there is one stipulation.
What's that?
That it's pronounced Clearwater.
That's right. That's right.
The Clearwater Threshers.
Water.
That's good.
Do not go in the water.
Let's see.
You will be killed instantly.
Lids doesn't have anything. They have a couple of franchise ones.
All right.
But nothing. So
I'll pick one up for you at the Lids store in the Philadelphia airport next time I'm there.
I would say I will wear it, but
Patrick.
That one is actually being purchased tomorrow. Donnie, I lost a bet to Donnie, so he picked the Tampa Tarpons hat. So he is getting one.
That's a great one.
Yeah,
it is a great one. And if you know the ones that he wants, it's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I'm for this. Donnie. It's good. A classic Dan Simon brand, that Tampa Tarpons.
I just can't. Every time that name,
I know. It's difficult.
Every time, it's very difficult.
Yeah,
I'm trying to keep it serious here, guys. This is a serious show.
We got the Tampa Tarpons and the Gwinnett Stripers in the same year.
I kept the Gwinnett Strippers.
Oh, let's see. Oh, that's a good looking hat.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
They didn't have any 47. They don't.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a 920.
Yeah.
So he's getting a 920 sent to him.
All right, that's good. That's did you have odds on that bet? I mean, it looks like Houston's taking the lead here in the
2-1.
2-1 now.
Good.
I just want whoever's leading in that game. I want to fall behind. I just want to see him just like blow a bunch of leads.
Another 18 innings. Are you itching for another like 4-day ball game?
No, I just whoever wins that series is going to be the clear favorite in the World Series, I think. And I think that America's pretty well united, except for those 2 particular fan bases. That nobody really particularly wants to see either of those teams win. Like nobody's just like, I'd be okay with the Astros or the Yankees.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
Should I be lumping the Phillies in with that as well? Like, is that?
Why do people not like the Phillies? Just because they're from Philadelphia?
I thought people didn't like the Phillies. I was sort of always under the impression that people didn't like Philadelphia or Philadelphia sports teams. I mean, we're only the nation's first capital.
Whoa!
And home to the nation's and home to the nation's best sandwiches.
Here we go.
Treasure. It's a great film.
Which one?
National Treasure. I love that movie.
It's a great movie.
Look at Eric Prophet chiming in like twice in the
3-1.
See, this is what I think, Mark. Well, Mark is a Mets fan though, so I'm not sure you can really validate anything that he says about Philadelphia fans. Italian beef. Italian beef is the country's second best sandwich.
Oh, here we go. It's about to get it. We just entered the food segment of the show.
Yeah. Hey, we got 2 minutes, by the way.
Are you serious already?
7:58.
Wow.
Or
time 9:58.
Or 8:58.
And don't forget Rocky.
Don't forget Rocky. How could you? And Rocky. Oops. Listen, I'm not going to let the best be the enemy of the good. I will say, to Mark's point, an Italian beef is a damn good sandwich. It's not better than a cheesesteak. A cheesesteak is also not better than a pork and broccoli rob, just to be so now this is Mark was talking about this on his Ballpark Hunter podcast, the pork roll versus the Taylor ham. And I don't know where Philadelphia falls in that because it's not something that I eat a ton of. So I think pork roll. I want to say pork rolls. Philly and South Jersey are pork roll country. Yeah, that's right. It's 7:59 now in the fictional Mountain Time Zone.
Doesn't exist. I told you already.
Doesn't exist. It's fake. It's fake.
It is.
I've lived here for 20 years and I still don't believe in it. Anna, who's on your podcast tomorrow?
Oh, I'm excited about this. This is Scott Evans, who is his brother, David Mickey Evans, wrote directed and narrated a little movie we know called The Sandlot,
No
which is
kidding.
based off of Scott Evans' real world adventures. So it's a fun one.
That sounds great.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It is interesting. All right.
I like.
Ed, who do we have next week? Well, who do you have this week and who do you have next
This week is Nate Muller.
Part 2.
He part 2. Yep. He designs football mini helmets. You guys got to check him out. Huh?
3D printing.
3D printing. Yeah. Man, his stuff is cool. You guys got to check it out. That's some some serious stuff that he has.
Yeah.
I am actually working with him to create a couple of helmets for me because I want some for the Deadhead Chronicles Man Cave. But next week I have Josh Duckworth. He is the owner of Sweegan's SC, a soccer club in Southwest Georgia.
Nice.
Yeah, which I am a founding member.
Ah, good for you.
Yep.
Very cool.
I'm doing two founding members. I did that one in Minneapolis SC as well. So,
all right,
I'm pretty excited. Supporting some soccer.
I have Sky Dillon of Sky Design Studios who did the New Britain Rock Cats. He did the UC Santa Cruz Banana Slugs logo, which is a really fun one. He did the Staten Island Ferry Hawks. He did the Tri-Cities Chili Peppers, and so he's done some great minor league baseball logos. I talked to him. I just, rather than doing a team this week, I did just talking to Sky Dillon. And next week I have the Columbia Lightning Bugs / Fireflies.
The Columbia Lightning Bugs.
Glow bugs.
Bugs with a Z.
Bugs with a Z. Mark, his name is John Southey. You got to look him up. Looking good, dude.
Yeah, he's been in the comments all night long here.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Awesome stuff. Look at that thing.
Yep.
Good dude. He was my first guest on the podcast.
How about that?
Yeah,
I knew that.
Yep.
All right.
Very first one.
All right, guys, we're 2 minutes over.
Oh, the humanity.
We did it again. Pat Larson, we should mention, by the way. Check out Pat's minor league baseball hat history.
Man,
and it was
I love
nice
that
to have
logo.
It was nice to have Mark Viquez in the comments tonight. Thanks for coming by, Mark. Listen to the Ballpark Hunter. I always have fun with that podcast.
There he is. John Southey. There he is. There he is.
Mark, by the way, Mark is also very generous, I should mention. Mark is always very generous to shout out people who listen and who are also content creators out there. So it's that's appreciated, Mark.
Anytime, brother.
So I'm always startled. Like I'll be sitting there listening and like Mark will mention one of you guys or me or something. I'm just like, oh my God, that was my own name I just heard while I was listening to this podcast. It's funny. All right, gang. We're 3 minutes over.
Hey guys, keep on supporting the minor leagues, all right? I'll see you guys later.
Bye.